6, I think,
Six.
or
They're pretty good
whatever. When
offense.
then who's
So-
counting, right?
Yeah.
Can we just start with that? I mean, you've had so many wins, so many big wins. Where does this weekend, where do you put this in perspective, especially in terms of what this team accomplished this weekend?
I think our team's been working really hard, and we've been steady, improving, and people are really focused on this weekend, knowing it was a big weekend and not being intimidated. Just went up there, and could we probably have done some things better? Sure, but it's very exciting. It's very exciting to go into the Beaver Dam and then the duck place, and they had great crowds and they have great teams, and it was really fun. Our team played well.
You always talk about the hope that a team obviously develops and grows in a season. But for in the same season, kind of that frustrating night of Western Illinois all the way back in non-conference, and now it's the same team that goes up to Oregon and sweeps that road trip.
Jacob, are you trying to?
Just was
Why do
wondering.
you got to bring them up?
It's an incredible leap, and it's the same
Yeah.
group of people who've managed to do it.
But it's young people getting better, and it's nice to have Britt out there. For 9 games we didn't have her, and that was one of them. I think with her, a lot of times that, if you it's not just adding one person. The one person influences the other people and helps them play better. So if Britt takes pressure off of someone else, then they play better. It is a different team because people have improved a lot and they're playing with a lot of confidence.
There were a couple different answers for you in that Oregon game. In that first half, you went with the youth. The start was a little slow, and then
we started slow, and I was mad, and I don't want to watch that. So I just said, I didn't like we weren't aggressive enough. Atlanta, I got mad. I got upset with Atlanta. I got upset with Britt. I got upset with Kale. I thought there were some ticky-tack fouls, but you've got to play. You can't get 2 fouls right away. So we brought in Nadia and Maya and Dijonay, and off to the races. We're winning by we're down 11-2 or 11-4, and I don't like starting that way. So I liked how we started at Oregon State, 11-0.
Yes.
We're ahead. But you got to come out ready to play, and you can't take a starting position for granted, and just kind of sleepwalk through the first quarter. So I thought Nadia and Maya and Dijonay came in and gave us great energy.
And then your veterans certainly answered the bell in that second half. Can you just talk about those 4 and what they gave you?
Well, I think Marta has been playing really well, in this weekend, for the most part, Marta just came out to just get a rest. I mean, she's been playing great defense. She was looking to be more aggressive offensively. I think for the most part, she's really taking care of the ball and being a great floor leader. Kiana was playing really well. She's knocking down shots, getting steals, stays with things really well. So some of that is having to give them rest. I love a lineup with one guard and Britt and D in there. We did that a lot in the second half. And then we even had Atlanta, when Britt got hurt, we even had Atlanta at the 3, and I like that lineup too, especially against Oregon, who's real big. But in the second half, Atlanta focused. I mean, Britt just went off. She just had one of those games where the basket was big and just got bigger and bigger, I mean, she couldn't touch that ball fast enough. I mean, she was going with it no matter what, and it was awesome. It was really exciting to see.
She probably hated for that game to end.
I know, really. We all did.
I wanted to talk to you about your defense. You are, in the conference-only games, you are averaging 60.1 giving up, and the next best is like 4 points. You're at 56 threes. The next best is 60.1. So you're like markedly better than everybody else in conference-only games.
Wow.
What is going so well for you defensively? You've always had a strong defensive teams through the years, but this team is really something.
I think, first of all, I think we have, I think Marta's defense sets the tone for us. Kiana's a good defender. In the Oregon State game, Tudor came in averaging, 14 or 15 and 0.
Right.
Gulish came in averaging 18 and didn't score in the second half. So I think we call it scouting report. Like, we're going to watch what you do well, and we're going to say, we're not going to let you do that. you know, and like maybe, you know, maybe Jacob is not a good three-point shooter. We're going to say, go ahead, Jacob, shoot the three. You know, if you're a good three, you know, we're going to just work hard to take away your favorite move. And our team focuses really well. They absorb scouting reports really well. And for the most part, except for sometimes when we give someone an obvious thing that they like, it kind of sends me ballistic. But I think our defense is based on working really hard to, you know, be aggressive and take away their favorite move.
Don't other teams try to do that too, though? Aren't they all trying to take away your...
I don't know. I don't know that that's their plan. I think sometimes teams just do a scheme. They'll do, like, we'll play screens 5 or 6 different ways. Some teams will just play them one way.
Like whether to go over or
Yeah,
under in your case?
yeah, right. I think some teams, you know, they might not focus as much watching video as we do. We watch a lot of videotape. You know, we go over things, and our kids seem to like that. You know, it's an intellectual approach to the game. They like it. They like to say, all right, so how do you want me to play this person tonight? You know, and, you know, okay, so, like, you know, whatever you might be really good at, if you're a great rebounder, then I'm not going to let you O-board. Or if you're, you know, if you're a great three-point shooter, no, I'm not going to let, like, Kiana, one play was so funny. I don't know if you remember this one. Tudor is a great three-point shooter, 50%, made 60-something. We said, if, you know, I told her, if she had onions for lunch, you can smell them. Like, if she goes to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom. Well, she fell down by the water cooler, and Kiana was standing over her, watching the play's going on, but that's what she did, and she didn't score. You know, so, but I think that our team is, you know, we're long too. We block shots. We don't force a lot of steals necessarily, but field goal percentage defense is good too. Like, so teams are not shooting a good percentage against us. So, you know, and I feel like we need that because offensively, you know, we're not like lighting up the Christmas tree, you know.
Kiana was saying that it was after the Baylor game that the defense started to shape up after that game, including her own. Do you have that sense too, or was it, or did it come later?
Well, you know, I think that I think another thing is, like, with conference opponents, you've played them before. You can see your matchups against them. You can figure out what you can do. When you only get a team once, you know, like a Baylor, you know, it's hard for everyone to absorb so much stuff that quickly. After, I think, experience. You know, we played great teams, and even, like, sometimes schemes wouldn't work. You know, we might say, all right, how are you going to guard? You know, you're playing Connecticut. How are you going to guard them all? Well, we better sag off a one. Well, then she lights it up, even though her percentage is bad. So, you know, so sometimes maybe the schemes work a little bit better.
How
has Kaylee's defense been? We see her,
great.
She's obviously a strong rebounder,
her
great
defense
screener.
Is, yeah, her defense is, you know, we have the awards coming up, and I would nominate both Kale and Marta for all defensive in the conference. They're both playing, they're working really hard at the defensive end, and we need them to, because, you know, and Kale rebounds too, you know. But I say you got to do 2 out of the 3 things. You know, you can't just score, or you can't just rebound, you can't just play defense. You got to do at least 2 out of the 3 things.
Can you talk about what Kaylee gives you on offense? She doesn't get a lot of credit for scoring, but Kiana was praising the screens she sets, the reason that they're getting open.
Yeah, well, I think she's, I think she knows that, you know, maybe just, you know, she's not a three-point shooter, and she knows what her role, you know, and, you know, there's some great NBA players that you know, their jobs are, you know, defense and rebounding and, you know, an occasional dunk, and that's what she does. She plays defense and rebounds, and then, you know, she makes little passes when people go to Brit dishes it to her, or, you know, somebody will, you know, pass to her and she finishes. But she's not trying to do too much. And I like to say to our team, you know, less is more. You know, don't be trying to do, you know, what you're not good at. You know, do what you're good at.
What about Utah? Can you tell us about them?
You know, they have been, you know, every team in the league to me is really good. They have their usual Potter, and they have a transfer from Hawaii. Her name is Huff. She's their leading scorer. She's doing really well. She's a Atlanta type, physical, 3-4, versatile player. They have good outside shooting. They have great size. They are athletic. They're really an interesting team in that, like, they were down 11 against Arizona State, came back in the fourth quarter to win. So, I mean, they're a resilient team. You know, we're going to have to play very well. A couple of things we've been doing well. We've been taking care of the ball. We need to keep doing that. We've been boarding. We need to keep doing that. And we hit free throws in the Oregon game. That's a good thing. We're out running, and that's a good thing. And we're running our offense much better, you know. And then obviously from now on, we're counting on Britt for 31 a quarter, or 31 and a half rather. So, you know, if she can do that, we're in the money. That was fun. That was really fun. It was really fun to see her do that, and she was so excited. And the other thing is, everyone was excited for her. All the bench and everybody was all excited for her.
I was gonna actually, I asked Kiana about this, how much of her personality comes out on the court. And she just always seems like to be having a good time. And there was, just before she came back in, you know, trainer was getting one last look at her. Lindsay was filling her in on stuff, so she had two people talking to her. Britt hits a 3, and Kiana joins in with the clapping.
Yeah, she's really, you know, that was hard. Britt forgot her mouth guard that one. You know, it was Britt's teeth that went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the one game she forgot her mouth guard. I'm like, how come, you know, we're lucky that she didn't get out with her teeth too, you know. So, but you know, Kiana is, you know, I mean, I think, you know, Kiana as a freshman is a leading scorer as a freshman in the Pac-12. She's awesome.
Is she freshman player of the year?
And she'd get my vote. I mean, I think, you know, I hadn't seen Sabali, and I think she's a terrific player too. But you know, I think also you gotta win out. You know, I mean, if you're good, then then she's gotta help us with the next 6 games we've got. You know, we've got a tough road ahead, and we've got to really stay focused and work really hard and keep improving.
Thanks, Tara.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.